I am Vietnamese. I was born in Saigon in 1970. I'm also a child of a war. The first 4 years of my childhood was during the end of the Vietnam War, and 2 million Vietnamese people had already been killed. I am a refugee. Today, 42 years ago, my parents chose to escape the only home that my brothers and I had ever known. We traveled by boat to the Philippines and landed in a refugee camp and waited there with hundreds and thousands of other Vietnamese people, waited for a country to open its door to accept us. A few months afterwards, we were sponsored by a loving community here in Minneapolis. I am American. We were able to have the opportunity to live the American dream. And exactly 23 years after I came to Minnesota, I went back to become a mother with the adoption of my twin girls. They are beautiful, they are strong, and I wanted to leave a legacy for them. I was really sad, though. I saw all the children that couldn't be adopted, and I wanted to help them. I certainly didn't know how to do it, but I knew that I couldn't turn my back on my motherland, on my heritage, and on another child. So 6 months after they came home, I started Catalyst Foundation with the sole intention of helping orphanages just when they needed something. Late one night doing laundry, a lot of laundry, I was watching a news show on a story about children in the brothels of Cambodia, and I was clueless. I saw that the children that were being brought out for the customers to choose from were children, but not only Cambodian, but Vietnamese, and they were as young as age 5. Here are the facts. In 2016, there are 46 million victims of human trafficking. That is the entire population of Canada and Scandinavia. It affects every continent, every country, every economy, including here in the United States. The average cost of a slave, $90. Traffickers are profiting $150 billion a year from children, women, boys, girls. After a few sleepless nights, a lot of crying, I realized 2 things. First, I actually can't stop human trafficking. Second, the children that were being taken were most likely the poorest, the uneducated, and the illiterate. And I knew I can do something about that. So we started working with victims of human trafficking. And after I learned their struggles, I got mad. I was tired of being sad, and I wanted to do something. I met families that had lived and raised their families in a garbage dump. I met grandparents who sold their kidneys for $15 just to feed their family that month. I've cried with a father who unknowingly sold his daughter for $50 to a brothel owner that tricked him, not because he wanted to, but because he thought that she would be safe. I have hugged children that have never had a full stomach, that have learned how to work before they learned how to read. And at this point, I could have walked away. I could have said enough is enough. But how do you do that? How do I look at my children and know that the reason they were brought to an orphanage was because of poverty, and then do nothing about it? What would you have done? This is Say. Say spends 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon to get a bucket of water, to get 2 buckets of water for her family. She walks up to the nearest waterfall in the jungle to bring him home. This is her daughter, Dao. Dao is 9 years old. When we met her, she had never gone to school, and her mom was desperate for any sort of income to come into the family. And she said, "Why don't you work for the nice lady that has a coffee shop in the next town?" This is Dao's little brother. He is a cowboy. He's 5 years old, and for us that means he's following cows and water buffaloes all day long, collecting their dung, bringing it home, drying it, and selling it back to farmers for fertilizer. He's working 8 hours a day to earn 25 cents at the age of 5. This is their baby sister. She's only a few months old, Our volunteer doctors just told me last month that she has an untreated hernia from a home delivery, but only because she was not allowed to go to the hospitals and clinics because of the color of their skin. This is their twig home. It is no bigger than twice the size of the rug I stand on. There's no running water, there's no bathroom, there's no floor, and there's no kitchen. This could have been my life. This could have been my children's life. And what if it had been your life? Callus Foundation has grown and changed a lot over the last 18 years. We've moved from helping orphanages to helping victims of child and human trafficking to now helping communities. We currently work with a community of ethnic minorities that are the 52nd smallest in Vietnam. And they have been denied the opportunity to have anything, to have any basic human rights, because they make up less than 1% of the population. We have holistic solutions that work. We know that if you focus on the education of a child, teach her to read, you teach your parents that education is valuable and that their community deserves to have everything that they need, then they will make a difference and they will have some hope. I truly, truly believe that if you educate a girl to read, she can tell me where she is when she's taken, when she's lost, at the next coffee shop or the beauty shop before she's sold to her first customer for sex. When you educate a child that his life is more than collecting cow dung, that he can grow up to be a farmer, own his own land, feed his family and his neighbors. When you educate a family that education is the way to break the cycle of poverty, she will understand that she has and deserves the right to have water, enough water to drink, cook, and bathe. That their children have the right to have full stomachs so that they can thrive and reach their full potential. And that they have the right to basic medical and dental care so that they can survive a basic, simple tooth infection. And when you bring volunteers from all over the world to come work with them, stand by side with them, play with them, and just hold their hands, like this group of volunteers that built a playground in 4 days, then the community will understand that their world is bigger than their backyard and that they have the right to be counted. Dow, the little 9-year-old, is now in 8th grade. She loves school and wants to go to high school and university. Her little brother is still a cowboy, but for fun, his favorite subject is math. Their mom doesn't have to spend 6 hours to get water anymore because we installed water pipes to their homes. And now she can stay home, take care of the kids, feed their family, and also go to our vocational training class. We know that when you give a child back her dignity, her smile comes back, and she will no longer be the victim. We also know that if you stick with it, not only stay mad and stay sad, but if you stick with it, it makes a difference. I started Callus Foundation to leave a legacy for my children and to help the children that I thought I should adopt. But with the support and love from my daughters and my best friends, I know that I'm making a difference. And if I can make a difference in a small rural village in Vietnam, you can make a difference. I am Vietnamese. I am a child of a war. I am a refugee. I am American. I am a mother. I am a catalyst, and you are the catalyst for hope. Thank you.